we need to move on to David Njoku.
Yeah, let's go to Njoku.
Because I don't understand, guys, why the Browns would give him a contract extension. I don't get it. I think,
well, they haven't. But the reports are, set it up this way. The reports are they're going to give him a $13 million a year extension.
I was surprised they actually put him on the franchise tag, to be honest. I think he's just a guy at tight end. He's a tremendous athlete. He has never been a great player. He's frankly been a below average tight end in the first 4 years of his career.
I'm okay with the franchise tag.
I don't want an extension.
It would make him in the top 5 highest paid tight ends in football.
There are like 3 or 4 tight ends worth a lot of money.
Well, that's the thing. This is a supply and demand issue. Right. There's just not a lot of very good tight ends.
But Jason,
I would not.
But he's had 5 years to prove that he's in that elite group, and to me, he has not done that.
The Bengals tight end last year, C.J. Uzomah, just signed with the Jets. Like, David Njoku's not any better than C.J. Uzomah. He's not. They're in the same group.
But Stefanski values tight end. So if you
go get another tight end, I don't have to pay $13 million a year to.
Well, he might like his skill set. Here's the thing: David Njoku is not garbage. Let's be clear.
He's garbage.
I mean, he has a skill set. He's fast. He can get the ball.
He can't hold the ball.
He's had a lot of key drops.
Just don't hit him in the hands. Just don't hit him in the hands. Throw it 6 feet over his head. That's why Baker liked him so much.
I will say this: his value increased the second Deshaun Watson got on the team. So all your little small receivers and the receivers that don't really do anything, just think how they do with Aaron Rodgers. They go there and play with Aaron Rodgers, they're great.
But I'm not giving him an extension now. He's back. Let's see it. If he has a good year this year, okay, then I'll give him a big contract next year.
Well, to your point, Bull, because sometimes in sports stats are meaningless. Sometimes they tell a story.
Yeah.
First, Njoku is not currently a top 5 paid tight end.
It shouldn't be.
They are George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert, and Mark Andrews. If we can,
those guys are elite. Well, Goddard's not, but the other 3 guys are elite.
I think he's very good.
He's very good.
I think
he's certainly better than Njoku.
I would take 3 of those 4 with
Mark
Dallas
Andrews
out of it.
is now the best tight end in football.
I think he's,
and then Kelce and Kittle after him.
I still take. I like Kittle.
Kelce.
I like all 3 of them. I think they're interchangeable.
No team. I'm telling you, every team in the NFL will take Andrews over the other guy.
So Kittle's been. We took their 5 years in the league.
Yeah.
And here's their averages. Now you're going to put this guy in Kittle's neighborhood because Kittle makes, I think, $14 million a year is what he's scheduled to make next season.
Yeah.
Njoku's going to be at 13. Look at these numbers. These are the average season numbers for 5 years. Kittle has had twice the receptions, more than twice the receptions, more than twice the yards. The only thing that's different is Njoku does score touchdowns. He's averaging 3 in his 5 seasons. He's got 15. In Kittle's 5 seasons, he has 20.
Interestingly.
I know, and that's the thing because Stefanski loves throwing it to him. But when you put these numbers up, this is the back of the football card. This is what his production is. I just don't see how you can
look how much fewer how they're not throwing to him that much. I mean, I think that his numbers will be better.
So why would you pay that much money for a guy you're not throwing to?
Clear Hooper out of there.
Well, actually, to be truthful, the reason he has those numbers is who's your quarterback?
Right.
That's part of it, Chief.
Hold on. Let me give you that. Let me give you this.
Who's the
Philadelphia put a lot of footballs on his hands that hit the grass.
Jimmy G's better than Baker, but it's not significant, substantial.
They're same level.
Whoa. Listen, here's the thing.
Jimmy's better.
They're the same guy,
Jimmy G is better.
I don't agree, but
whatever.
He's not significantly better.
The case being is, you just saw what Odell Beckham Jr. did on another team.
But that's what Matthew Stafford.
But I'm saying, do you think? I think David Njoku with a good quarterback. David Njoku with a good quarterback has comparable numbers to George Kittle.
Yeah, but see, how many drops did Njoku have?
Hit him right in the hands.
He drops him so many times right in the mitts, and the ball was on the grass.
Not every quarterback has a tight end put up big numbers.
I didn't say he was the best
Aaron
tight end
Rodgers
in the game.
hasn't had a tight end put up big numbers in a long time.
Also, if you take the numbers from Hooper and you give them to Njoku because you have 3 tight ends rotating, his numbers are better.
My point is that I like Njoku a lot coming out of college. I agree he has a skill set. He's an interesting talent. He's a great athlete. Tight ends do take time to develop, and he was younger when he got drafted. Which is why, in the end, even though I was a little surprised they gave him the franchise tag, I was like, okay, let's give him one shot with Deshaun Watson.
That's what I like.
But on no way, he has done nothing through 4 years that would make me want to give him an extension.
So just tag him.
Nothing.
And
tag him, and if he does the job this year, then I pay him.
Pay him way more next year if he does the job.
All depends on what they want to give him. I want to see what the contract is.
At this point in his career, David Njoku is at best an average player in the league.
Yeah.
At best.
I'm with you. I think he's middle of the road tight end.
He could be better.
upside. He's
and a
he
lot
can
of
pop.
potential. But you know what? You'd go to training camp every year and you'd see this dude without pads, and you're like, guys, in high school, he high jumped 7 feet.
He's a monster.
That's if you just think about that for a second, that is an amazing athletic ability.
If you watch the best tight ends in the league, and because I'm such a fantasy football guy, and I've had Lamar Jackson as my fantasy quarterback for 4 years in a row, I watch the Ravens play as much as I can.
Yeah.
And Mark Andrews, when you watch this guy play, he's a superstar.
He is a superstar.
And David Njoku's
and
not
he catches balls in huge spots. So does Kelsey, and so does Kittle.
Yes.
When I think of his career, I do think that he is effective in the red zone. I do.
Sure.
He should be.
Yeah.
But he should be effective anytime he's on that football field. Because
to be more
just on the look test, you look at this guy and you're like, wait, are you kidding me? He is the Myles Garrett of offensive players, just with his physique and just the look test. He looks like he should be all world.
Well,
he's never been that player.
The touchdown catch he had against the Chargers was catch in the middle of the field. Fantastic play to make the grab. That's the tantalizing that you know is in there.
And that's what we should see every time.
But it's just not consistent.
It's almost like if he has too much time to think about it, he drops the ball.
If you hit him in the hands, he drops it.
Yeah.
6 feet over his head, he catches it. It's unbelievable.
He drops a considerable amount of footballs.
And you know what?
And that's his defense attorney talking.
Exactly.
So, Your Honor, if you say about a guy whose main job it is to catch the football,
he has to block
that
too.
I get that, and he does a great job in that.
There you go.
But here's the thing: I need my entree to be good, and I need my dessert to be good.
Nobody
and I can't say about a tight end that I'm going to make the 5th highest paid tight end long term in the NFL that he does drop a considerable amount of footballs.
You just spent a ton of money on Hooper, who production-wise in Atlanta was much better than Njoku was here, and he stunk.
It wasn't that,
and he stunk.
The whole time I was watching Hooper, I'm like, where's the real Austin Hooper?
Yeah,
Who's
I don't
this
know what
guy?
happened to him.
Again, I'm not
He
paying a
looked
ton
like
of
he
money.
couldn't
Every time he
run.
catches, he falls down.
I know it. I mean, and sometimes before
It's
he catches.
crazy.
And I'm watching this guy going, either this is the single best example of a player getting old early, overnight, or he's been kidnapped and somebody's playing the part of Austin Hooper and we haven't caught on to it.
And part of it, too, is G's point. He was playing with Matt Ryan in his prime. Matt Ryan was a really good quarterback. He's okay now. But
I never saw Hooper fall down from turf gremlins every other play.
That was weird.
When he was playing in Atlanta.
3rd and 4, they'd run a 3-yard out and
I
fall down.
agree with you that Baker factors in because Baker's not that good, but
so
you can't put it on Baker.
Wouldn't do this. I clearly
chance I'm
wouldn't
giving
do
him
it.
an extension.
Mike,
No
you
chance.
would?
I got to see the numbers. I mean, if those numbers are realistic,
I didn't make those up.
All right. Well,
I mean, if it's
that's not
13
real though.
million.
Those are rumored, right? Like that's not really what's happening.
Why?
That was sworn
What is
testimony numbers.
Why would you pay him right now?
So let me
You
give
don't
this.
have to pay him.
What
I'm
if it's
with
the
you.
opportunity cost? You're out, right now. You got him at $13 million. If he has a good year with Deshaun Watson,
What's it gonna be?
It's going to be 15, 16,
Roll the
17
dice.
million.
Roll the dice. It could be because
unless
we know,
he put it up an all-pro season.
But Bull, to Jason's first point, you're talking about a commodity that isn't falling out of the sky.
Tight end.
What
I
kind of
think the
season are
tight
you
end-
talking about? If he has 700 yards,
and you know what?
800 yards, 8 touchdowns.
If he
think he's getting
does,
paid that much
if he
money.
does,
I really
I'll
don't.
help Jimmy write the check.
And in the end, if you have to pay him $2 more million a year, rather than if he stinks this year and we're getting rid of him, I'd rather pay the extra $2 million.
But here's the
next year.
thing:
convinced me.
will they have the space for $2 million a
The
year?
cap is
No, that's
yes,
a good question.
But they're going to start running into
But the
cap
cap's
problems
gonna go
next
up.
year.
The TV contracts, the new TV contracts kick in on next year's cap. Plus,
So it's gonna go up, and it's gonna go up expected considerably.
huge.
Well, when Deshaun's full salary kicks in,
Yeah, that's
they're
gonna hurt.
going to have cap problems next year. I don't
Yep.
care how high the cap goes.
That's absolutely
the cap
right.
might go up 30, 40 million next year.
They're paying their quarterback 45.
Yeah.
So they're going to have
Right, but they'll let Baker off the books.
starting next season.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
going to start having cap issues.
Yeah, and they've never had cap. They've never had
Never.
to deal with this
Never.
before. That's the unintended consequence of being a good team.
Yes.
And having a high payroll is all of a sudden you need a capologist to say, guys, J.C. Treader's got to
It's a
go.
good problem to have.
It is
There's
a good
always
problem
ways
to
figure
have,
it out.
and they'll
Yeah.
figure it out. But I like your point that you know what the price is now. You don't know what the price is if he goes out and has a phenomenal season, and then if he hits the market, who knows what that
It's
number
not
could
like
be.
they got a number 2 receiver. It ain't like you got a bunch of
Well,
you,
but
you
one
got,
might develop.
You got Schwartz, you got young guys.
But you
tell you
don't
what.
have him. He's proven nothing.
But he's going to get a lot of targets.
And I'll just throw this out. They are very high on Harrison Bryant. And he's
Yeah,
going
I
to
like
get a lot.
him too.
He's going to get
I
a
like
lot
him
more
too.
I don't know
opportunities
that
this year.
Njoku's going to get so many targets. Deshaun's going to spread it around.
Yep.
I mean,
I think he'll get more targets. Than
I
he
just
got
think
before.
they're making a move prematurely that they don't have to
okay.
make. And
Yes.
I'm convinced.
And if
I give up.
So you've given.
I agree.
Wow.
I say tag him. I'm talking.
Well, they already
to him.
tagged
No,
him,
they've
but
tagged him.
they-
Well, yeah.
Which
that's
is
it.
why you don't
yeah.
have to sign
Right.
him.
He said-
Yeah.
exactly.
No contract.
All right.